Hello and welcome to Fraggle Talk Classic, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. My name is Beth and I am rewatching for the millionth time.
My name is Julia and I'm rewatching for the first time in 10 years.
My name is Adam, and in an effort to expand and diversify my spice rack, I'm actually watching this for the first oregano.
Wow. Okay.
I'm amazed I haven't done that one yet.
Me too. And today we are talking about episode 3 of season 3, Boober and the Glob, which originally aired on January 14th, 1985, written by Jocelyn Stevenson and directed by Jim Henson.
Yeah.
I will note that this episode came out 1 year before Frank Oz directed a little movie called Little Shop of Horrors.
Ooh.
What?
Because in watching it, I was like, is this the same year? Because that feels like a huge coincidence. And it's not, but man, I got those vibes.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't see it.
I'm sure that Frank Oz was hard at work on that project while this was happening.
That's true. And I mean, it was an established Broadway show at this point, so I felt that touchstone definitely was a reference point for this. Obviously, not the whole thing. It's a little less gory and a little less, just a little bit less scary, but still kind of a scary episode compared to most of the other ones we watch.
I do appreciate that every time Doozer gets eaten, which, spoilers, Doozers get eaten, watch the episode, or don't, Doozers get eaten. Wonder at the strange things that are about to happen as I foreshadow. Five-shadow? I don't know. But every time a Doozer gets eaten, you hear a little, hey, let me out of here! And it's like, oh, they're not dead.
Very clearly trying to be like, it's okay, kids, they're alive. You know, we're pushing the boundaries, but not that hard.
But yeah, I appreciate the theming of this episode, and I feel like it did an interesting thing. I feel like it was a little heavy-handed at times, specifically the Doc and Sprocket segment didn't really do the thing. But I do appreciate just the sort of the vibe of a reluctant Samaritan. I think that was a lot more relatable.
Yeah, so we open with Doc complaining that he says, I've been writing this article all morning and I'm still nowhere. It's supposed to be about cats. Problem is, I don't know anything about cats. It's like, hold on. Why is Doc writing an article about cats?
Yeah.
Especially when he knows nothing about them.
You can't answer why. He doesn't even know how.
Exactly.
He's a tinkerer.
It's not like we've ever heard about him writing an article before. What publication is this for?
And he's a tinkerer and an inventor of sorts, which cats, it would be one thing if he was like writing about a creation to benefit the lives of cats or something, but just cats specifically feel so out of his, yeah.
Somebody already invented cats.
True. He can't have met them.
Andrew Lloyd Webber already invented
no.
cats. You can't reinvent the cats. Trust me, we've seen it tried.
My least favorite musical.
I mean...
my least favorite musical movie.
Oh, I will not watch it. Cannot comment.
Oh, the movie's trash. The stage play is a hell of a production.
Okay.
How did we get here? Okay.
Cats.
How did we get here? Well, it started off with all matter being an incredibly dense mass of protons so tight that light could not get out.
Oh, dear.
And then God farted. And
oh, my God.
It all just expanded really rapidly. And then somewhere along the line, Boober got roped into doing a knock-knock joke spree for Joke Day and decided he wanted to bail.
Right. Oh, so, yeah. So Doc decides he's going to, quote, borrow Fluffinella.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which we already know that Fluffinella and Sprocket do not get along.
They had one nice moment. When Fluffinella was, like, low-key dying.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, if you are wanting to see cats in their, like, natural state, you're not going to ask to borrow your friend's cat when you have a dog that you know agitates said cat. You go over alone without your dog to your friend's house where the cat normally lives, and you try and meet the cat on her terms, right?
That's if you know something about cats, which we have established Doc does not.
Fair.
That is a good point. I will say that it does not get old watching whoever is off screen yeet Fluffinella onto Sprocket.
It's so good. It's so good every time.
Every time.
Yeah. Nobody self-yeets like Fluffinella.
But yeah, no, Doc knows nothing about cats. For all we know, the first time he saw a cat, he was like, what's that weird small dog? So then we cut to Boober, and we get some kind of heavy-handed exposition, but it's joke day, and Boober's like, they wrote me into it, and I'm just gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Good on you, buddy. That's a great you could just leave. It's allowed. People get weird and uncomfortable about it, but you can just leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your job to make them comfortable.
Yeah. Boober was an entire mood at the start of this episode.
Yeah. And then, as soon as he decides, which, granted, he packs up a little bindle that is adorable and full of wonderful little objects. But we never really get into all of the objects that he's packing, so, like, the fact that he packs a toothbrush and, like, okay, it's not just convincing John. Fraggle teeth confirmed.
Oof.
As uncomfortable as that might make us all.
No. Why? No.
I'm so sorry.
Ugh.
There is a really slick puppetry trick, though. He puts a moss pack into his bindle, and they go straight in one shot from the moss pack in Boober's hand to sitting on the handkerchief with Boober not touching it at all in one shot. So I feel like that's got to be like a Velcro trick or something, maybe?
Magnets.
Yep.
How do those work?
No one knows. I will say that I really thought this was going to be a side bottom episode at the very start. I was like,
Me
man, we're getting
too.
side bottom so early this season because it was all about jokes and how Boober doesn't want to participate in anything silly. And normally that's like side bottom's calling card. But that's not the case. And also, I love Boober and Cotterpin together.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love that he keeps just tripping over her and absolutely eating it. It's funny every time.
And it's funny that each time an individual Fraggle gets to know Cotterpin, we got to do this whole thing over again of like, yeah, Doozers are sentient individuals with unique personalities. It's not just a Doozer. It's Cotterpin.
It's Cotterpin. I also love I love the way she takes none of their guff.
Mm-hmm.
Boober's like, it's a Doozer, and Cotterpin goes, good eyes, and it's just like, oh yeah, get his ass.
Yeah.
But then after Boober's like chiding himself for talking to a Doozer, and Cotterpin's getting, sassily annoyed, the Glob appeared.
The Glob.
The Glob.
Yeah.
Which is really clearly just like one or two people in a big rubber ball suit, and it just
Right?
I
Like
love that
walking
for them.
forward inside it like a hamster ball or something.
Okay.
Oh, I love that for them so much.
I that's what I thought was happening with the Glob, but then I was like, but it's small, but now I'm realizing they just sized it down
Yeah.
in post-production.
Yeah.
So, smart. Cool.
Yeah, I should note the Glob is puppeteered by Rob Mills. And yeah, Muppet Wiki didn't say any specifics about how it's puppeteered exactly, so that is my best guess, is giant hamster ball.
Look, that is the truth in my heart, is hamster ball. So the Glob shows up, and Boober's like, that's not a great thing. That's bad, probably. And Cotterpin's like, whatever. And then Boober tries to run away, and all of his friends show up with a song that is just the worst jokes.
Yeah.
It's like the first time it's kind of funny. It's just a series of like, hey, what's this thing? And it's a bunch of weird adjectives. And then the punchline is, I don't know, but it's gonna get you. And it's like, that was kind of funny the first time, but you just told the same joke 3 times. And it reminds me of when little kids are trying to figure out humor, and they'll tell you a joke, and then they'll tell you the same joke to try to make you laugh as much. And you have to be like, sorry, buddy, the real world's kind of depressing sometimes, and humor has diminishing returns. If you want to earn the approval of grown-ups, you're going to have to write better.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's painfully accurate.
Yeesh. Yeah, just not great jokes.
Yeah.
And then Wembley has one that seems like it's got some promise. It says, why did the radish kiss the banana? But then he can't remember the punchline, which, did anybody else get the punchline immediately?
I didn't, because I wasn't thinking about it.
Yes, because it's kind of a predictable one.
Yeah, right?
Like, why did fill in the blank kiss the banana or whatever?
Yeah.
It's waiting for you to fill in the peel pun. But the fact that they build up to that and he can't get it at first is actually funny.
That part is pretty cute. I did enjoy
I guess
that.
that's true. I thought it was going to be a better punchline. And then I think the reason I didn't think it was going to be a peel was because I guess I just expected something different. And then at the end, when we finally get there, I was like, oh. So I personally felt a little let down. But considering, like, yeah, he can't get it until the end and it's so basic, does actually, like, put it in a better light for me.
So Red is, dragging Boober along, like, insisting that he does this knock-knock joke medley. And like, he's clearly uncomfortable, and no one's bothering to find out why he doesn't want to do this, or like, hey, it's okay, someone else can take it on. You clearly are not into this holiday. Go do something else. We gotcha.
Well, it's Boober. They're his friends. They should know that this is not his jam. So it is wild that they're pushing it so hard on him.
I mean, that's also not out of character for them. It's just frustrating.
Yeah.
And so he tries to tell them about this glob. It's huge and round and glowing. And then, of course, none of him believe it until they see it for themselves and go, it's huge and round and glowing. Like, yeah, thank you. Exactly. Now you can see what I see. You could have just believed me.
Yep. I do appreciate that there's a beat later where he basically says something like, no, this thing is here and it's eating Doozers. We need to save them. And they're like, wow, Boober must be joking. Wait, Boober? Joking? Oh, no, okay, we better go.
Yes.
And, like, it seems like they have learned their lesson on that.
Mm-hmm.
But they decide to poke it, and they see that it's bouncy. And so then we get a shot of Red jumping up and down on this thing, which the only physics explanation I can find for this is that it was a marionette very well and carefully puppeted.
I would say either that or, like, full-body puppet, with the legs and then, like, green screen.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like,
I could see
yeah.
that. I could see that. But like that one took me. I had to stare at that for a little while and just be like, "What the what? How did they do this? How did they do that?"
And Cotterpin, meanwhile, Red's having the time of her life bouncing on this thing, and Cotterpin left. She came back, and there have been other Doozers in the background examining the glob. So Cotterpin brought reinforcements to try and figure out what's going on here. But while she's reconnecting with Boober, being like, well, I know that thing's not for bouncing on, and so do you. Like, yes, thank you for being validating that you both know what's going on because of the shared lived experience that only the two of you have. And then the reinforcements get eaten.
Yep, just fully consumed. It's terrifying.
There is this beautiful moment when Boober realizes that this is now a pattern that the Doozers are getting eaten, and this wonderful little slow double take back to the glob, and then these arms waving, get me out of here.
Yeah. Which again, I appreciate, not like I appreciate this in general, but I appreciate from a writing standpoint that his first reaction is cowardice.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, oh, that's scary. I'm out.
Yep.
That part at least is very in character.
Oh, yes.
So then we get, I believe there's another song, or is that the Dawkins Brothers?
I think, don't we get the postcard next?
Postcard first.
Right, we get the postcard.
And Red is in this glorious fish costume.
She looks like a superhero you bought off Wish.
Oh my god. Wow. Yeah.
What is the postcard about?
It's about
it's the house thing. It doesn't really relate.
feeding
Right.
houses,
It's talking about
newspapers.
the person who feeds houses, and it's just do y'all remember newspapers?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
I did have that thought watching this episode where I was like, are would younger people get this? Some newspapers are still around. I still see some Oregonians in Portland on people's doorsteps, but yeah, I didn't know how this related to the rest of the episode.
Doesn't really.
I guess, is it because he goes and feeds the house the newspaper and the glob is feeding on Doozers? Is it just that?
I guess.
Well, yeah, because newspapers are sentient.
Yes.
So he says, the last line of the postcard is, selflessness has its own rewards. I was like, okay.
So I guess that's Boober in the end finally deciding to do something and be selfless, I guess.
Kind of.
Yeah, this one doesn't hit as hard as some of the other postcards and how it ties in with everything, but I guess I can see it. There's like little threads.
Yeah. Another Doozer gets eaten, and then you're right. Then we get our second song.
I like this one a little bit better.
Yeah. This one was much catchier.
It's catchier, and also just like, I feel like of the genre of songs they keep coming back to, I'm a Fraggle and I'm gonna goof around, boop doop boop boop, is like it feels like a lot more natural and like easier to do. And it's also shorter.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. Although there was one line that I had to stop and turn the captions on for. Because there's a bit where Wembley says, "How do you do, neighbor, till I bust my glands?"
Yep.
And it's glands with a D.
Yep.
But he doesn't really hit the D that hard, and I had to do a double take.
It's also just a weird word to put in a song at all.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly needed a rhyme for hands, but like, expands,
Yeah.
plans, you can do a slant rhyme.
Strike up the bands.
Bands, oh, bands is great. Anyways, I will say, one of the things that's interesting to me about, because we get to see more Doozers get eaten, and Boober's having like a really difficult time with it, because he just wants to leave. He doesn't want to care.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth noting, he doesn't actually really care until Cotterpin gets eaten, or he doesn't actually finally let that care win until Cotterpin gets eaten.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to see like his natural reluctance taken to its extreme in this kind of situation that then leads him to move from, understandable moral actions of setting his own boundaries to being, immoral.
Yeah. God, there's this moment. So before he's tried most of his ideas, and there's a moment where he stops and turns around and then says, "I know, I'll just pretend this isn't happening."
Yeah.
And starts walking away.
I noted that line and wrote, "Oh no, that's too realistic."
Yeah.
That is how people react, both because they just don't have the tools or the education, or because it is easier, unfortunately, for people to turn a blind eye to folks being hurt, or put in danger.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, now it's Boober's turn to be the well-meaning white liberal.
Yeah, kind of a NIMBY. Not even quite, just like, I don't want to look at it, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. Especially when Boober's like, "Oh, I gotta go, they need me." Like, that's what's finally gonna, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll go and be involved in Joke Day if it gets me out of this moral quandary from having to, actually do something here."
Yeah.
And Cotterpin's like, "Hey, what about me? That thing could eat me in any second." And Boober's like, "Well, I can't get involved. No time." Like,
Which, boy howdy, raise your hand if you've heard well-intentioned privileged people say that about marginalized issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, for those of you listening who don't have access to our video, my hand went up.
And hey, it's okay if you've also been that person, because also it is scary a lot of times to know, like, it's confusing to know what to do and what exactly is going on. Whose responsibility is it? Maybe you are actually busy. Heck, most of us are.
Starts with self-education.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if I've asked this, but why do Doozers have mothers? They're bugs.
They were born from them?
I mean,
Why do they have mothers?
Bugs lay eggs, though, don't they? They don't have life birth.
True.
Yes.
But
They-
basically,
but
what
they
I'm saying
are-
is we have no idea how Fraggles reproduce, but given that we've seen Doozer family units, it is heavily implied that Doozers also have some form of reproduction.
They are fictional creatures, though, so maybe eggs, but it's different. I have no idea, I don't think about how any of these creatures reproduce on this show.
I mean, I tend to deep dive into the biology and ecology of how this tends to work, and this was one that just sort of jumped out at me, and I was like, have I asked this question before?
I don't think we've explored the reproductive possibilities of Doozers before.
No.
We have established that we don't know if Fraggles reproduce.
Right.
That I remember talking about, but apparently we know, like, canon, Doozers do, and it's genetic.
Wait, hang on. Do we know that for sure?
We don't know that it's genetic. She could be adopted. But she says mother.
Well, yeah. But that's like a role rather
Exactly,
than...
which is why I said we don't know for sure they could be adopted.
Right. They could all be adopted, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, it takes a village. Everybody has babies, shuffle them up, so you gotta love them because you hope whoever's got yours is loving them too.
Yeah, maybe there's some unseen Doozer queen who lays all the eggs, and then the rest of them just...
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
I'm sorry I put that image into your heads.
I was going to make a joke about getting kicked out of the maternity ward for shuffling the babies, and that's worse.
Yeah. I don't like that image that's there now.
Okay,
We're
never
move
mind.
on. So Doc is watching Fluffinella just kick the crap out of Sprocket, and eventually Sprocket's like, yo, this cat's trying to kill me. And Doc's like, oh, you're joking. You're not joking. And to his credit, Doc jumps in, gets bit, takes a quick note, and then jumps back in again.
Yes.
Like, good on you, Doc. You are trying to fix the mistake that you made quickly instead of denying that it was a mistake, and you listened to your dog when your dog said someone was trying to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And his note is, cats have very sharp teeth, which is very just apt for the fact that he just got bit by a cat.
They're sharp little buggers.
They are.
Soft and pointy. They're all soft and pointy.
I think it's this point when we cut back to the Doozers inside of the Glob.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been digested yet. And I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Nope, but that's what I thought about.
Ooh.
I haven't seen it yet. It's still on my to-watch list.
One of the two most upsetting parts of that movie is all I'll say.
That part. Oof.
The flashback and that part. And I feel like I've brought this up on the podcast before for some reason. I feel it in my bones.
The way they filmed that flashback was bloody terrifying.
Oh my god. I went into that movie theater expecting a lot, and I didn't expect that, and I was miserable. Great.
Oh, I mean, I had a great time. I loved it.
Great,
but like, damn.
Great movie. Horror is something I'm still just like dipping my toes into, so.
Yeah, exactly. Same. That's why I haven't watched it yet. I'm like, I know I should.
Some horror movies, when you dip your toes in, it's kind of squelchy.
Oh.
But yeah, props to them for just straight up making an inside of the Glob puppet, because this isn't just like a background, it is moving.
Mm-hmm.
It does, yeah.
And I like the fact that there's this little moment where like Cotterpin is like calling out for Boober to help them, and her mom, Wingnut, says, no silly Fraggle is going to get us out. And I was like, shows what you know. Their silliness is exactly what's going to save the day.
That is true.
Well, it's also interesting because she also says Boober's not silly.
Good point. It's up to the least silly Fraggle to save them with silliness.
I will say the other thing that's interesting to me is the first time that Boober remembers Cotterpin's name is right after she gets eaten.
Yep.
And then they harp on it. Cotterpin goes, well, at least you remembered my name. And I'm like, you could have just left that.
Yeah.
You didn't have to hit that beat harder. I will say, when he mentions that the Doozers are getting eaten, I'm really kind of disappointed that we didn't see anything out of Red.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think Red even ever acknowledges when it's realized that Cotterpin was the one in there.
Yeah. I wanted more.
Yeah, that is strange. It is the beginning of season 3, and sometimes the starts of new seasons are almost a little bit like a reset, but that is an established relationship, and they do keep continuity in a lot of ways.
It would have been so easy for Red to be like, wait, Cotterpin, and the rest of them would be like, wait, you know that Doozer? And Red be like, yeah, we hang out sometimes.
That's true. They could just do a tiny bit of exposition to reestablish Red's relationship. So that is weird that they wouldn't do that, because she is the one we've had a couple episodes with them together at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Boober tries a couple of different things that don't work, and then he decides he's going to check in with them, and he says, knock, knock. And Cotterpin goes, who's there? Because she can't see. And I don't remember what he says. It's not the good answer to a joke, but it makes the Glob giggle. And it becomes very clear that the way to save them is to tell a bunch of knock-knock jokes.
The very thing he was trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like community responsibility is a good thing, bro. Just saying. So Boober tells some jokes. They make the Glob laugh. The Doozers get spit out. And there's a really nice bit where like all the Fraggles are hanging out, talking about it and processing it. And I just want to point out, it's really small and they don't point it out, but Moki just kind of has her arm around Boober.
Yeah.
Just like casual platonic affection among friends. he's kind of leaning his head on her shoulder. And I love that that's there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's also a really great shot of Boober when him and Cotterpin are kind of doing their wrap-up conversation where his hands are on his knees and he's bent over talking to her. And it's just such a subtle, like, position, but it's really sweet and cute, like the way they have him set up. Where she thanks him and he also apologizes, which is really nice. Like, she acknowledges that he did eventually help her, but he's like, sorry I didn't get there fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also has maybe the best joke of the whole thing, because it ties a bunch of different things together. She's like, well, at least can you promise to remember my name? And he goes, yeah, I promise. And she goes, knock, knock. And he says, who's there? And she goes, see, you forgot me already.
She's great.
Genuinely hilarious. Love it.
Yeah. There is a moment that is terrifying to me when apparently the Glob can talk.
As it's rolling away.
Yeah, it's rolling away and chuckling to itself, like repeating the last line of, oh, Freddy or not, that was a good one. Like, what? Bro, you were sitting here understanding everybody the whole time?
I mean, he understood the jokes at the end, so he definitely could understand the common language of this show. But yeah, that does make him even more terrifying. It's just a big blob who can speak.
Yeah.
And all of the Doozers coming out of its mouth is also a terrifying shot, just like them cascading out of its... Yeah, there were some upsetting imagery in this episode.
Yeah, I feel like they took pains to try to make sure it's not like the worst.
Right, not too scary.
I appreciate that they were also trying to dampen it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Although, speaking of horrifying, this mouse,
yes,
quote unquote, that Doc pulls out,
terrifying.
It's
what is it?
Why does it
oh my god, it's horrifying.
Like that? It's got big yellow eyes and yellow buck teeth and like a fluffy gray mane on its back, but it's also got like red fringe on its ears. And so either Doc just had this monstrosity sitting in a drawer somewhere, which is entirely plausible considering that it's Doc, or else he hyper-focused and spent way too long making this horrifying mouse, which is also entirely plausible.
Yeah, it could be either. I feel like in my heart of hearts he made it, because like that has the look of something that somebody made hastily.
Yeah.
It's also huge.
Yeah.
And he just throws it out the window and then they yeet Fluffinella after it.
Yeah, that mouse is like as big as she is.
At least as big as her head.
It does work though.
Yep. Her bloodlust cannot be diverted.
Or I guess it can't be sated, but it can be diverted.
Yeah. You that's what I meant to say.
I do appreciate that it ends with another, like, okay, this is progress for them moment where Doc says that he's got to give a little talk next week on the common flea, and Sprocket, like, flinches, and he says, oh no, Sprocket, I'll have to find out all I have to know from a book. And just like, yeah, good job, buddy. You don't have to bring over the scary thing right in the face of your best friend who's scared of the scary thing.
Right? You can just not.
Also, fleas are the worst. Speaking as someone that works with animals, and a couple times there have suddenly just been fleas in my house. They take forever to get rid of, and
oh my god,
it's a nightmare.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
I hate them, and they think I'm fleas are one of the few animals that I will kill with no regret and just like feel nothing but joy as I watch them struggle and die.
Yep.
Awful.
If you drown them, you can watch until they stop twitching.
Oh, okay. I just get some flea spray and spray nonstop and wash everything.
Well, if you catch one on you...
They're so hard to catch, though.
They're so hard to catch.
You can catch them. You gotta just...
I have caught them, but they're very hard to catch.
But then the thing about it is, normally, as soon as you let go, they jump out, right? But if you let go when your hand's underwater...
I mean, that's good to... Actually, that's good to know for the future.
Oh, see, I did the thing where I, like, would pinch them between my fingers and then, like, slowly transfer them to between my fingernails and then crush them between my fingernails.
Yeah.
That one's also good, but there's a chance for them to escape, and I
agreed.
Would much rather... that crunch is so satisfying. Anyways, this has been Flea Murder Corner with Beth, Julia, and Adam. But for now, we're going to pivot. Speaking of segues, Beth, want to tell us about the international versions?
So, Muppet Wiki doesn't say a ton about the international versions. It does say that in this episode, the background music for Uncle Matt's postcard changes. In previous episodes, there was a different instrumental during Matt's narration, but beginning in this episode, Matt gets a background anthem called All Around the World. This music had already been used in the UK version of Matt's postcards during the first and second season. The song itself is never sung in the American episodes, but it was released as a single in the UK. A portion of said version is heard in the behind-the-scenes special Down in Fraggle Rock, which I'm sure we'll watch eventually. And then, let's see. It says, this episode features the only interaction in the series between Boober and Cotterpin, which is sad to hear.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
Bummer.
What about the Glob? Do we see the Glob again?
No, thank God.
That I would be surprised if it came back.
I will say I know we get at least one more Cotterpin episode with another of the Fraggle Five, but I will not say who.
Ooh. Teaser.
And the other note is that this is the last episode to be directed by Jim Henson.
Aw.
Ever?
I know.
What's he doing at this time? Was he making Manhattan? Or was he moving on to Labyrinth or Dark Crystal? Or were those... I'm so bad with years.
That was before.
Yeah.
Because Dark Crystal was... they joked that it was like a however many millions of dollars research and development project for Fraggle Rock, that they just took a lot of those techniques that they used.
Oh, I bet
that they developed on the Dark Crystal and then used them in Fraggle Rock.
I could be wrong, but I bet he was pivoting to focusing on the Jim Henson Hour would actually be.
Oh.
Because he's on that show.
True. That wasn't for a few years though yet, but you know.
It was 87. So yeah, I guess it was another 2 years after this.
Was Jim Henson Hour 87?
It was 87.
I thought it was 89.
It was around for, yeah.
It was only one season.
That's true, it was only one season.
And not even a complete season.
He was up to something else. He was always up to a million. He was up to a million things.
Yeah.
That Jim.
Always doing things.
They call him Jim Thing Doer.
I wouldn't.
Because they're not good at coming up with creative nicknames. Just also want to point out, Cotterpin makes Boober laugh. That's not an easy task.
True, yeah.
All right, shall we talk about how to make the world a little fragglier?
I think it's a good thing to remember when things are scary and the world is what it is, that comedy and making each other laugh is a really nice thing to do. It's not the only thing, obviously, but I think it's good to lean into the comedy when you can with your friends.
Yeah.
Look where you're going so you don't trip over short people.
As a short person, I will say that's valid.
I'll say when a new and interesting thing shows up, bouncing on it could be a good first step, but also maybe try talking to it just in case. You never know. If they tried having a conversation with the Glob from the first scene, maybe all of this Doozer-eating could have been avoided.
That's a good point, yeah.
I agree. Y'all want to plug your pluggables?
You can find me on mostly just Instagram and Blue Sky these days at Beth Anna Cook. That's Anna with 2 N's. And occasionally writing stuff for Tough Pigs.
You can find me at Geek Girl Grown Up, JuliaGaskell.com for poetry, also occasionally on Tough Pigs. And I don't know when this episode's coming out, so we might have already passed it, but July 10th to 12th is going to be the Bigfoot Poetry Festival, which I'm the lead organizer of. It's going to be a really great time if you happen to be in Portland. And if this is after and we've missed it, check out BigfootPoetryFestival.com for next year. And we'd love to see you there if you're in Portland.
It's a very cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it super is. You can find me in the belly of a very large orbular thing. But don't tell it jokes. I'm napping. Just let me chill.
All right, that is it for this one. Reminder to check out toughpigs.com. Give us a good review on your podcatcher of choice, and we will see you next time.
Don't forget to dance your cares away.
Down at Fraggle Talk. Wow.
Fraggle Talk Classic is brought to you by toughpigs.com. Fraggle Talk art by Dave Hulteen Jr. The Fraggle Rock mark and logo, characters, and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company. All rights reserved. Fraggle Rock theme song, written by Philip Balsam and Dennis Lee, is used with permission. Special thanks to the Jim Henson Company and the entire Fraggle Rock family. For more from Tough Pigs, follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook, and make sure to check out our Discord server, TeePublic merch store, and Patreon. Fraggle Talk Classic is produced and edited by me, Beth Cook. Thank you to Joe Hennis, the Tough Pigs Muppet Fan Podcast executive producer. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time, down at Fraggle Talk.
Your bloodlust cannot be diverted.
Or I guess it can't be sated, but it can be diverted.
Yeah. You that's what I meant to say, but I was too sleepy.
Words are hard.
Words are, you gotta get them all in the right order.
Right?
It's bad.
And then some of them mean, like, different things.
Gross.
The same word can mean different things? What the heck?
Illegal.
Illegal.
No, calling the language cops on words.